Hey guys, I thought it was getting about time to do a shop tour. So without further ado, let me show you around my shop. Here, this is just a steel baking tray where I keep. This is not all my coal at all, but I keep some coal just at the ready, ready to be placed around the fire. This is the Coke. Coke, for anybody that doesn't know, is it's basically pure carbon. It's coal without all its impurities, like sulfur, for example. But this is just a simple brake drum forge. But it's actually really effective, and I really like it. I built this myself. It's got this nice frame too. So I really like my forge. I can't really complain about it. I keep flux here, and it's got its little flux spoon, and that's where I keep my propane torch. Propane torch is always a nice tool, and I think it's probably a must-have for any blacksmith shop. This is a piece of scrap steel that I can use to make a very thick knife. I've got another piece just like it over there. I'm pointing to it. This is where the magic happens. Here, this is a sycamore stump, and I've got a couple forge tools hanging from nails, like this coal shovel I made. I cut a trowel off of its handle, and then I welded it to some rebar, and I curved the rebar at the end to make a more ergonomical handle. This here, it's a little coal rake. I widened it with my ball peen hammer so it can rake more coal at a time. Here, I've got some farrier's tongs. They come in handy. This is my ball peen hammer. This is what I primarily use for forging. It's because it's heavy enough to where it's going to be able to flatten the metal efficiently, but it's not too heavy, like this 8-pound sledge, to where it tires out your arm very quickly. What's that? It's really more like 6 pounds, but you know, it's 2-pound difference. This is a railroad spike tomahawk in the making. I've already got the head drawn out. I just need to punch and drift a hole and kind of draw out the spike. This is my anvil. It's a 15-pounder from Harbor Freight, and I'm a modern blacksmith, so I can't just go to the local blacksmithing store and pick up a 500-pound anvil. Maybe 200 years ago, but not today. So a 15-pound anvil is the best I could manage because it was the most economically nice to my wallet. I've got a fine wire brush for brushing off scale and brushing off the face of the anvil, and a little bit more coarse wire brush also for brushing off scale. This is just a little out-of-place file. I have to put that back. This is my bag of charcoal. I used to use charcoal in my forge, but I haven't used charcoal since the day my shipment of coal arrived from the coal fields of Kentucky. So that bag isn't going to be seeing a lot of action. Here, I've got a machinist vise secured to a cedar stump. This is a bag. Well, it's a bag within a box of coal, and this is 25 pounds, probably a little bit less now because I've scooped it out and put it into my forge. But I got 78 pounds of coal in all shipped to me. I got 3 more boxes inside my house, and it's good cold. It's bituminous. I got a couple knives out here sitting on my workbench because I was sealing the handle with wood sealant. And then also there's my Bowie knife. I've got another pair of tongs over here on my workbench. It's a little bit crowded over here, but bolt cutters, WD-40, odds and ends. These are 60 grit sanding belts. I got 120 grit, 80 grit up here. Grinding wheels and masonry wheels that just came in the package. They're pretty useless unless you want to cut masonry. I got like 320 belts. I got 80 belts. Basically, I have more belts. I obviously have more belts over there than I do here. That's where most of my belts stay. These are metal cutting drill bits. They're the best for drilling holes and handles. This is my belt sander. It's a little belt sander from Harbor Freight, and right now it has a 320 grit belt equipped. Some people say you need a larger belt sander to complete stuff, but almost every knife I've made, I've used, this belt sander has helped, and there's nothing that really is wrong with this belt sander. I mean, it gets the job done, so I can't complain. Yes. This is my toolbox. It's where I keep most of my tools. Let's open it up. So right off the bat, we've got a huge selection of files. Rat tail files, chainsaw files, half-round files, 8-in-hand files, mill files. Any file you could want, basically. I've got it. I even have a farrier's rasp, but that doesn't fit in my toolbox. I've got a little microfiber cloth. I've got another one right here. Let's fold it up. So I just keep those in these little slots. It's really nice. This rag is really bothering me. I have to fold it up right. That's better. Okay. I got a Sharpie. This is just like a standard Sharpie. But then here, this is a Milwaukee Inksol pen. And they're a little bit more expensive than Sharpies. But you can write on any surface with them. And they don't burn off easily. I mean, like, if you stick it in a forge and get the metal next to molten, you're not going to see a little black line on it where you drew on it with this Sharpie. Or Inksol. This is by Milwaukee. You know, I think it's a great thing to pick up if you can, because it's worth it. You can write on any surface with that, and it doesn't come off easily. It's great. I got Scotch-Brite pads, and I got sandpaper pads. You put them on a drill, and you can give a kind of a nice finish to a piece of metal. You remove this top part. Where it gets a little bit more cluttered. I've got this piece of fabric, but it's a really fine piece of fabric. It's like faux suede, so you can polish off blades with it. I also use it to strop straight razors. I use a leather belt and this piece of fabric. I've got all different types of sandpaper. I've got 1000 grit, 320 grit, 2000 grit, and 220 grit right here. I've got lots of different hardwood pens, and I use these. Like what I do is, what I plan to do, I have this copper coil, and I plan to kind of put these on the belt sander to kind of narrow them out, and I'll fit them inside the copper coil, so it's metal sheathed wood, and I think it would look pretty nice, kind of like a mosaic pen. Poor man's mosaic pen. I've got a paint can opener and a can of wood sealant. Various pliers, wire cutters, and needle nose. This is metal polish, Brasso. Epoxy. It's a great tool to have. Index cards, I occasionally use those. And I got whetstones in here. Whetstones obviously are a must-have for making knives to sharpen them. And this is, I mixed up my epoxy in this clear paint cap with this little popsicle stick. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And also, I forgot to mention, I keep ferric chloride right there for acid etching. I've got an unopened bottle there, and I have an open container right here. But as long as I keep the lid on it, it works fine. It doesn't evaporate or anything. So, let's say this again. I hope you guys enjoy the video. And there's Mr. Welder, and Mr. Welding Helmet, and Mrs. Welding Gloves. Yield angle grinder, and that about covers it. So, one more time. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I appreciate all my subs. Only 2 of them. But, I really appreciate that, guys. 2, that's a lot of progress, in my opinion. But I appreciate the subs, and I appreciate liking, and I appreciate commenting, and I appreciate sharing, and I appreciate views. So, thanks everybody who watched this video, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe.